From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment, to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need, with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The following is an All-Star 15 TV production.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to All-Star 15 TV. On the broadcast tonight, it is the Sim500 TranService Truck Series live from Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're running the Super Speedway version of this track, and a little bit later on, we're going to show you last year's finish. Holy cow. Holy cow. But before we get into all those festivities, let's bring in the very wonderful and recently graduated Mike Campiggio.
AJ, how you doing? Glad to be back, everybody, here tonight. I know I was off last week, and I know that AJ, you and everybody at the Sim500 put on a really good show at Iowa Speedway that Brian Macklin won. Just excited to see that, the one I was watching when I could. But I'm excited to be back here tonight in the booth with you like normal, and I'm excited to do some restrictor plate racing tonight.
Yeah, brother. Happy to have you back. And, dude, I'm looking very much forward to this race. Yeah, I always like going to a track that is very hot, very difficult, and could be very, very intense for a lot of these drivers. Would not be surprised if we see multiple rows and just battling all night long. It's literally going to be a super speedway race for a lot of these drivers. But the track temp is currently sitting at 120, so it is hot and slick. It is beautiful for the wonderful people here at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the stands. It's a nice 78 degrees. We're going to see a pit window between 55 and 60. Give or take a caution here or there for that. They're going to have 3 sets, the 2 on the 1 on the car and 2 in the pits. But for everything else, with Atlanta Motor Speedway, Super Speedway, of past, we're going to send that over to Mike Campiggio with the rundown.
All right, let's do it, AJ. Let's go back to last year, 2023, where you referenced earlier that we had a fantastic finish, which we will be showing the people here in a moment. But last year's race in 2023, they had 8 leaders, 21 lead changes, 5 cautions for 15 laps. The pole was won by Tyler Dalton, and Tyler led the most laps at 40. The winner was Kevin Brown, who led 5 laps and started 19th. In 2022, this race had 8 leaders for 38 lead changes, and that had 8 cautions for 24 laps. Once again, Tyler Dalton won the pole and led the most laps at 21 this time. The winner was Brian Wortman, who led 1 lap. And also in 2022, they had 2 races that year, and this is the other one. That race had 7 leaders, 42 lead changes, and they had 5 cautions for 15 laps. Pole was once again by Tyler Dalton, who led 19 laps. And the winner was Pedro Mojica, who led 51 laps, which was the most in that race.
Mike, we're returning to a racetrack with such... I guess you have to be on the wheel for the majority of the race, if not the whole race. You being the driver part of this broadcast booth, what does it feel like behind the wheel knowing that you're going into a race that's going to have your full attention for all laps, basically?
Oh, man. It can be fun. It can be sketchy. It can be all those things. You just got to get a group of guys that you trust and you can run around and, have a great time out there. The thing is, too, AJ, that we're going to talk about a lot tonight is knowing that this race comes right before the regular season finale. And there's some guys on the outside looking into that playoff cutoff line that'd need a really good run to get their chances for next week at the regular season finale. So we're going to see a lot of intense racing. I expected more in the second half of this race, just knowing that next week is that cutoff.
Yeah, speaking of that cutoff, we're dropping it down to 16 drivers. And dude, I don't know if you planned it, but what a hell of a segue to bring up the points. And we're looking at right at that position 16, Richard Beasley, Randy Yoakum, Kevin Brown, and Sean Macklin. Right now, behind Richard Beasley, it's 11 points, then 16 points, and then 17 points. So everybody from, honestly, I'd say about 14th on back has a shot to make the postseason. Would you agree with that, Mike?
I would agree with that. especially tonight, is you gotta have to go for maximum points tonight and maximum points next week, especially if you're on that cutoff line. And if you guys are up in the top 5 to 10, in that range, you're just there to add points and maybe try to get a win and pad your stats.
Hell, Sean Macklin, a driver with 2 wins this season, could possibly miss the playoffs due to not making all the races.
That's incredible.
And
But
he's picked up
AJ,
14 bonus points.
AJ too. I think about it how we're talking about that. It's kind of nice having a league that doesn't just do the winning you're in type thing.
Yes, very much so. Eric Arnold's the first driver to get to the front. First lap on the board with a 32.95. Justin Fuller, does his first lap? It does, a 32.66. Robert Fieri immediately bounces Justin Fuller.
You're gonna see
come the lap times.
I was gonna say real quick, you're gonna see a lot of these guys just run the bottom both laps here.
As much as I like a nice Italian name, I do not like the nice paint scheme he's got on there. I'm a Patriots fan. Talking Giants. Unless he's on that podcast. Eric Arnold finishes.
I mean, technically, it looks like Kyle Larson's paint scheme. So there's that.
He's going to finish his second lap. Does he improve? He does. He'll go to 7th. Bobby Wetzel with a fantastic lap at 32.21. And as I say that, here comes Tyler Dalton. A 32.20 was our fastest in practice, shared by 3 drivers. Dalton, Macklin, and I am very much trying to remember the last one, so I apologize on that. Brian Macklin, though, where's he going to sit?
17th?
17th. Wow. But then again, it's a super speedway kind of race. You could start dead last, and within 10 laps, you could be up towards the front.
Ooh, Kevin Brown, last year's winner, popping up in the P9 spot.
Paul Jr., the 45. This is to finish his qualifying run through 3 and 4. Now remember, that white and red line, that's out of bounds. They cannot go below that line to make a pass. Paul Jr., does he improve? No, he does not. He's going to stay 20th. Just 2 drivers on the racetrack here. The 66 of Ryan Robertson and EJ O'Rourke. This is going to be fun. They're basically very much against the clock here. What was that, Mike?
I was going to say they're both running the same line in 1 and 2. I mean, they are all the way up against the wall.
They'll have enough time to do it, but for the rest of the field, I don't think they're putting down a lap time because they needed to leave about 30 seconds ago. First lap on the board, Robertson, that's going to be good for 21st. Kind of what we were expecting. EJ O'Rourke, 22nd. Wish we were able to put them side by side here. But they immediately both go down to that inside line and running it like it's a super speedway.
See if they're going to improve here, both of these guys here in the second lap.
I would assume they will. But you know what they say about assumptions. Oh, he's going to cut the tri-oval. Try to get the best time there. Robertson, good for 17th. EJ O'Rourke, good for 20th.
Ooh,
and
EJ.
just a gap from, this is just qualifying, from first all the way to 22nd out of the cars that qualified. That's 0.14 separating, with most of them under a 10th. But with this warm-up, you think it's time to show everybody last year's finish?
Oh, I think so.
There we go, everybody. Enjoy the last lap from Atlanta Motor Speedway from last season. Pusher on that inside, but right now, who cares?
Rounding turns 3 and 4.
It's gonna be one.
Coming to the white flag, sponsored by
Fair Play WrestleFest. Final
There we
lap.
go. I was going to mess it up. I was going to say wrestling over everything. Glad you said it.
Looks like the inside line is more organized here into turn one. Fuller is now clear. Richard Beasley for second. Here he comes.
Who surprise? Pedro with the block.
He's going to go to the bottom.
Try to block again. Couldn't get it done.
Oh, contact.
Contact!
Kevin Brown. They're wrecked everywhere. Here we go. Who's going to get here first?
Kevin Brown.
Oh.
Kevin
Brown is going to be able to sneak to the apron and win in Atlanta.
Goodness, the whole field.
2 races in a row, 2 big wrecks on the white flag coming out of 4. That broke my iRacing. As soon as that wreck happened, I couldn't see nothing.
My goodness, boys. That was the entire field except for Kevin Brown.
Let's watch that last lap again, AJ. That was fantastic.
You want to watch that last lap in its entirety, or want to see it from Kevin Brown?
Just the last, right here is perfect. Let's go ahead. We see the block here. Man, I'm kind of curious. Was that net code, or was that for Kevin Brown, or did he actually make contact with the 51 there?
Oh, God.
Wow.
That was a big, vicious wreck there. Everybody's involved. Everybody trying to get the most they can out of that.
Man, I wish this blimp cam was in a different angle.
How did Pedro finish second? How did Tyler Dalton finish third?
We're back, everybody. It is time to run down the starting lineup for race number 17 of the Sim500 TranService Truck Series. On pole, we have Tyler Dalton. Outside pole, Bobby Wetzel. In row number 2, Sean Macklin, Tommy Ryan. Row number 3, Justin Fuller, Wesley Donaldson, Nelson Rivera, and Jeff Ryan in row 4. In row 5, Kevin Brown and Mike Montesi. Mike, take it the rest of the way.
All right, let's go. P11 is the number 15, Alan Wild. In 12th is the number 44, Glenn Campbell. In 13th is the number 38, Chad Coleman. In 14th is the 84 of Anthony Calantoni. In 15th is the number 77 of Robert Fieri. In 16th is the 31 of Eric Arnold. And 17th is the number 66 of Ryan Robertson. In 18th is the number 17 of Kevin Stone. In 19th is the number 69 of Travis Stronge. And rounding out your top 20 is the 41 of EJ O'Rourke.
All right, everybody, who are your picks? I took the 18 of Sean Macklin. Let's hear in the chat from all you wonderful people out there. Who are you picking? Mike?
I took Kevin Brown, who made that incredible 7th to 1st move last year to win that race where I blew everybody's eardrums out.
Dude, that was a fantastic finish. It's very much expected on the last lap for something like that to happen. But just pure craziness to have a very much tame Atlanta race. But what are we going to have tonight? 120 laps on the board, and we are green and hot Atlanta. Already getting gridded up. And there goes Sean Macklin to that outside. Looking for the push from Wetzel, but that's going to open up the door for Justin Fuller to take that second position on that inside row right behind the 19 of Tyler Dalton. That outside lane really put together, and immediately Sean Macklin's going to ditch them.
And I've seen a lot of these guys too here. They're giving each other a little bit of space on the corners, so not completely side drafting each other here early on. And I've seen a lot of people not really bump drafting early on, which is good to see. Everybody's just trying to settle in and run some laps here.
Already, is that Sean Macklin leading that lap, getting that point, and hitting the ejection button, going all the way to the back. Needs to stay in the draft, though, which he shouldn't have an issue with, getting right behind this first pack with, hey, look who it is, the 30 of Brian Macklin right behind him. Back up front, the 9 of Bobby Wetzel is the first car on that outside lane to the inside to Tyler Dalton. They are 2 by 2 as far as the eye can see.
And we're seeing early on, AJ, 2 split strategies here. We're seeing these guys up front running side by side, racing hard, and then you have the guys from about, I want to say about 16th, 17th on back. They're not fully up in there, but I mean, they're still attached to the front pack, but they're just like, all right, You guys race hard. We're gonna just ride back here.
Looks like everybody so far minding their P's and Q's, but in an instant, that can change.
If they can get the third lane to work, I'm going to be very impressed because Atlanta's a lot smaller than Daytona and Talladega. It's hard to do 3 wide here.
It's a lot tighter completely. Look at the push that Fuller just gave Tyler Dalton. Almost to the lead there, but Tommy Ryan right up the back bumper of Bobby Wetzel.
And you see those guys on the outside line, especially. Those trucks are moving. When they land in the middle of the corner, they shoot up high. So these guys are having their hands full here with these trucks on this hot track. You can visibly see them fighting the wheel in the middle of the corners.
And just a look out here. That inside lane is nose to tail. That outside, those last 2 laps, just had those top 3 cars. You have the 44 of Campbell coming up, trying to get it to work with Calantoni right behind him. But just having those 3 drivers, the quality of those 3 drivers in that outside lane are really, really the reason why they're still fighting up there.
I'm telling you right now, AJ, Bobby Wetzel's truck he's fighting that truck, man. That thing off of 3 and 4 right there was washing up in the middle of the corner.
You're on board with Bobby Wetzel here.
Not going to see it that time, but if we stay on with this camera shot and we'll see it in 3 and 4, let's see if he fights that truck and it drifts up the hill like it did last time here.
Yeah, look at him getting tight.
Yeah, he's getting tight, but it's not as egregious as it was last time. But here in about 15 laps or so, some of these boys might be trying to lift the throttle, as we almost went 3 wide there into turn 1. Tyler Dalton was trying to sneak his way inside of Tommy Ryan.
Yeah, Tommy Ryan dropped to the inside, trying to take P1, coming up the racetrack to use a little bit of that side draft. Right now, from first all the way to 15th, all under a second. As looks like Tommy Ryan's backing up that inside lane, probably for a run out of 2.
I'm starting to see the second pack too. They're starting to get single file back here, so those boys are starting to calm down and run single file, while the front pack here is double wide.
And they got to be careful on how spread apart they get. They lose the draft as well, they might be hurting. Getting a shot from the spotter stand, and you could see how just close these front 6 cars are.
And these guys and their spotters tonight, the spotters are gonna be working overtime. AJ, you're gonna get constant communication from your spotter on what's going on around you, who's pushing who, and it's just like they're like air traffic controllers up there.
They're definitely earning their money tonight, 100%.
3 wide.
3 wide. Donaldson and Wetzel to that outside, being filled to the inside. That's Tommy Ryan. And Dalton to the extreme inside.
Wetzel, he got super close to the wall off of turn 2.
Ooh, Donaldson just popped it going into 3. I think might be a little too early for this, but if you get pushed out there, hold on.
You got the Ryan brothers in the middle pushing each other. They're the only ones in the middle, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is elite league racing, the Sim500 TranService Truck Series.
It just gets so tight in the middle of these corners, AJ. When you're 3 wide here at Atlanta, it's just like you really gotta white knuckle the reel.
Dude, you ain't joking. You ain't joking. And I thought the 19 was gonna get spun there. I thought the 51 was right to that back bumper with that bump. Or the right rear with that bump. Because pushing, drafting, that's all fun and games. But Mike, there's a certain spot on that back bumper you don't want to hit. As Tommy Ryan's in the wall.
That truck about broke sideways right there off of 4. What were you gonna ask me?
That there's a certain spot on that back end of the truck where if you push them, they're in trouble, and it's the right rear.
Yep.
Just like the cars, the Xfinity or the next gen. Oh, the 3 very loose entering.
Oh, Donaldson got shot up the hill.
That whole outside line is breaking up. Those trucks are not having a good time up there. That's where the issue is going to happen. That is 3 laps in a row where we've seen Wetzel have an issue. Jeff Ryan, Tommy Ryan, Donaldson getting in the wall last time by out of 3. That outside line is having a big issue, and they are not having fun up there.
Yeah, there's some guys in the radio and from the back of the field where they're like, yeah, they're about to wreck up here, so let's kind of back out of this. So that's why we're seeing a lot of these guys now really starting to back out of it and run single file back here.
Already 16 laps down, and we are cruising all the way to 120. It's a 180 lap race from Atlanta Motor Speedway.
You said 120, not 180?
120 laps, 180 miles.
There you go. Just keeping you on your toes.
But that outside lane, after having all those issues, Mike, they're falling back, and they have yet to regroup.
Well, those boys in that outside line, AJ, they are fighting their trucks right now. A couple laps ago, it was Glenn Campbell and Callan Tony. They got really close to making contact with each other going into 1.
Look at the side draft with Jeff Ryan.
Jeff is he's being aggressive. He is being really aggressive this early laps in on that side draft.
Right now, I think that is the driver that is saving this outside lane with slowing that inside lane up, because he's going to get even with Justin Fuller here as Tommy Ryan's looking to make it 3 wide again.
What's Bobby Wetzel going to do? Is he going to stay middle or is he going to go top? It looks like he's going to stay middle.
Oh, boy. Here comes EJ.
I was going to say there.
8 positions.
Oh. Bobby Wetzel and Donaldson and Ryan, they all made contact almost right there off of 4. I just to me, it doesn't look like Bobby's truck. I don't know what line he's trying to do sometimes.
It just looks like when he's being pushed, it's really, really tight on the car. Or the truck, I'm sorry. And that's where everybody's ditching him. It's not that he can't hold the push. Yeah, the truck just pushes.
As soon as you said that, everybody just ditched him now. They saw that and how his truck was handling. They're like, "Yep, nope, no, thank you."
And coming down pit road, what are some of the things you can change in a fixed setup to kind of help yourself with that?
You can change the springs. You can. Oh, is Jeff Ryan about lost it? We don't have the big one right there in front of us.
There goes Chad Coleman. He's trying to hold on to that position.
You can change brake bias too if you want to in these things. I'm pretty sure air pressure. AJ, I think you can change air pressure, can't you?
Air pressure? I don't remember. I know you can do the brake pressure, but that's it. I don't know about air pressure.
Kind of what you got then.
And what you got. Jeff Ryan has fallen from that first truck on the outside all the way back to 15th. Insert last year's winner, Kevin Brown, first car on that outside right now, being pushed by the 91 of Wesley Donaldson, making moves up towards the front.
It's like Kevin Brown. Where did he come from?
It looks like 9th.
I was gonna say if this was the end of the race and he was going ninth to about first, I was gonna say he's gonna become the new closer at Atlanta Motor Speedway, at least the Super Speedway version of it. Seems like everybody's kind of calmed down a little bit here after that near big wreck that we had.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's very 2x2, very cordial up until we get to pit stops, and that's where I feel like we're gonna get everybody to single out, get down pit road, and that pit entry is going to be difficult. I went through the rule book. I went to type in a couple questions, but completely forgot to hit send. But the rule book didn't say anything about having to enter pit road before turn 3. So they're going to be at full song, possibly coming off of turn 4, jumping onto pit road.
Yep, this is not like real life where, those guys are running into turn 3. But, I mean, these boys, you better get down to that pit road speed limit because that entry is going to come up fast, and make sure you tell people behind you that you're pitting, because if you don't, you're going to get run over.
Yeah, just like a regular super speedway, but they have a long run into pit road at Talladega and Daytona. Here, there's a good chance you're going to get off the racetrack, hit the brakes, and spin out. We watched a lot of people early on in practice try that by themselves, but it's going to be completely different when they do it around the whole track. Oh boy, that Tommy Ryan in the wall?
No, it's Paul Jr. He's smacking the fence.
He's still hitting the wall up there.
This wall at Atlanta Motor Speedway, this Super Speedway version of it, especially in any car or any truck, you get sucked into it, and it takes forever to get off that wall.
Steering doesn't look too bad, but his momentum completely all gone.
Yeah, he's really fighting that truck right now.
Even by himself, it looks really tight. Robertson to his inside.
Oh, Tommy Ryan's on the wall.
Okay, so I was right. I was just a lap later. So your biggest mover of the race right now, sitting in the 6th position, and what do you know, on that outside, it's the 41 of EJ O'Rourke. Third car on that outside, up 15 positions.
I'm glad we don't make... I was going to say, I'm glad we don't make that a drinking game every single week, because we'd all be done.
I'd be curious if anybody does. How many times is EJ O'Rourke going to go to the outside? Oh, that's a drink.
Somebody put us in the comments if you've done that this season or last season.
Watch it be one of the drivers that watches the race back.
Right.
But Tyler Dalton qualified on the pole, currently leading.
Oh, we have a yellow.
Ryan Robertson. The 66 black and green car to that outside.
Let's see what happened here.
Yep, just trying to get the camera view. Oh, he's loose. He's really loose.
Oh, and Paul Jr. nowhere to go.
Ow.
And Paul was back there because he hit the wall and lost all his momentum a couple laps prior.
Puts you back into the Hornets nest. On board with Robertson here. Yeah, he's trying. Just nowhere for Junior to go.
Beating time up here road, AJ.
Yeah, here comes the cavalry.
So what do you think? We're taking 4 tires, or we gonna save a set of tires for the end and just take fuel only?
Oof. They just ran 30 green flag laps with a lot of battling up towards the front. If they don't take all 4 tires, I would assume that they would take all 4. I think it's the green flag stops if we get any that you'd be taking no tires. But Fuller first off, then O'Rourke, Dalton, Brown, Donaldson, Rivera, Wetzel, Parker, Beasley, and Campbell rounding out that top 10. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching round 17 of the Sim500 TranService Truck Series live on All-Star 15 TV. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow if you're on Facebook or Twitch. Glad to be here. I'm AJ Capola, Mike Campigio. But we'll be right back. Enjoy these wonderful commercials.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment, to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need, with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
We're back, everybody. Thank you to TranService Trucking Logistics for being the title sponsor of the Truck Series for the Sim500. Hit that like button, subscribe. I know I just mentioned it, but it helps. It very much helps the algorithm. But O'Rourke, Dalton, your front row. Brown, Donaldson, Wetzel, Nelson, your top 6. We're just about to go back under that green flag. 32 laps in the books, coming to 33. If you thought it was crazy before, all these trucks got fresh Goodyear Eagles, so watch for the 3 wide once again. Pace car is off, waiting for Barney the flagman, and we are green. Wet. O'Rourke shades to the outside, couldn't clear the 19. Woo!
Oh, EJ is...
Yeah, I feel like EJ said if I couldn't get the lead, I'm out. And he's fallen all the way back to 19th.
Wow, that was a really strung out restart, AJ. I'm looking at some of these guys in the back. We are really strung out through the field here.
Absolutely. From first all the way to the last running car, Brian Wertman, there's 5.5 seconds between them. And just look at the gap. I think that's the 17?
Might be Robert. Is that Robinson again?
No, I'm looking for the gap there. I probably just filled up. Holman, Strongy, the 77, Robert Fury. There's a little gap between Casper and O'Rourke now, just building. So we're about to have 2 separate packs, but this backpack is all in a line, ready to move towards the front.
A lot less people on that outside line this time. There's about 6 trucks up there while everybody else is running the bottom.
And they're still holding their own. Look how close Eitzen and Brown get to these inside trucks. Hell, Mike Kelly's up there. We haven't seen Mike Kelly in weeks.
Trey Eitzen is back this week too.
Yeah. Good to see some familiar faces make an appearance on a beautiful Wednesday evening from Hampton, Georgia. Because that outside lane, look at the run that they got. They're up to third on the inside. It just looks like that outside.
Oh, here we go, trouble! Oh, they're still piling in.
Big damage. Big damage.
I don't know if Mike Kelly glitched out or something.
He's already sideways coming off the turn. Here you go. Oh!
Oh, whoa, what was that?
Was that a half a car length of netcode?
Well, I was like on my screen when I saw the wreck initially happen. Kelly didn't pop up on my screen until he was where he was at, and basically in the middle of the track.
What was that?
This would be a perfect time for one of those rants, but we can't say the last part on TV.
Nope. Holy cow.
I mean, what are we doing? iRacing. Well, and here's the thing that I mentioned to you in pre-race while we were getting our pre-race notes together. There's people dropping left and right from the session due to the server having packet losses. I wonder if this server tonight, or the iRacing servers in general, are having a not too well night on the service.
I don't know. Kelly, Tommy Ryan, Parker, Campbell. Gonna see Brian Macklin involved right there. Wow. That's that was wild. There should have been no contact there between them. And
I feel bad for...
It's not even close.
I was going to say, I feel so bad for those guys that really got damaged in that wreck. Just, you know... I mean, nothing you can do. It's an iRacing issue. But it takes a lot of people out of this race, or a lot of people that are going to have to be struggling the rest of the night.
Dude, I could just imagine... Excuse me. I could just imagine practicing all week, practicing with your team, the half hour or 45 minutes before qualifying starts, doing all that stuff, and then netcode just knocks you out of the race. Like, takes the steering wheel right out of your hands. Like, back to what you said, what are you doing, iRacing? We love the sim. We love the racing that we get on here. But that stuff shouldn't happen. And if it is going to happen, if you guys are having a network error or a service error, there's a little notification thing when you load up iRacing that should pop up with that. Like, hey, we are experiencing this. Run everything at your own caution. That just took out 5 or 6 drivers.
Well, at some point in one of these downloads or patches or whatever, or new seasons or something, the team at the iRacing people that do like the background technical stuff, they need to figure this out. I mean, for a simulator.
Was bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for a simulator that's been around since 2008, 2009, like, come on now. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Mike, you are 100% correct. We're about to go back under the green flag, everybody. About to put 42 laps back on the board. Jay Kirby subscribing on YouTube. Sweet. Appreciate it, pal. We're about to go green. Mike, why don't you take this?
All right, as we get into the Geico restart zone, they are back underway. Tyler Dalton gets a really good start in front of Wesley Donaldson. Donaldson's going to slide in behind Dalton as these guys are going to thunder into turn 1 and turn 2. Another restart there. Back half of the field really strung out there. As we have now the front 6 all single file.
And there they all go. You have Alan Wild, the first truck on that outside in 15th. About to lose 16th to Strongy.
I think everybody now is going to be really, really precautionary now on how close they get to somebody, just based off what we saw that last yellow.
Absolutely.
I mean,
how was the radio after that?
Not too much noise about it, but there was some drivers that were saying, like, I think we're having server issues. So, but Mike Kelly didn't know what the heck happened. He was like, I thought there was like space between our trucks.
There was a lot of space between your trucks. But Wesley Donaldson all over that back bumper of Tyler Dalton, coming to 45.
And it looks like
back to what you were saying, all single file basically. But here goes Jeff Ryan. What do you got, Mike?
I was gonna say, it looks like these guys now, like, it's like a flip of the dime or flip of the switch. Like, these guys are now just like, okay, it's like, that's enough being side by side, 2x2, like super, super, super close to each other. It's like, we're just gonna, you know, it's like a wholly different race right now. Like, you see how many less trucks that we have in the outside line and how many people run on the bottom? And they're giving each other more space than what they were in the first 38 laps of this race.
Well, yeah, they just saw it take out 2 drivers, basically. Tommy Ryan is back to 22nd position. And Mike Kelly is still on pit road, just shy of 10 laps down. But here goes that outside line, Mike. You know, we thought they were going to ride it a little smoother. The gap is definitely significantly bigger between that they're putting between each car or truck. As I say that, Kevin Brown says, nope, I'm not listening to you. Gives the 3 a hell of a shove. Moves Jeff Ryan into 4th. Mike, have you raced this configuration before?
I have.
How difficult is it? Because it looks like they are fighting those trucks.
Oh, you're fighting any car that you run here. I mean, next gen, Xfinity, Cup, not Cup truck.
I saw a league use the COT cars here, and it was awful. It looked like it sucked.
You couldn't probably pay me to do that. I'm sorry, no.
They were going 210, 220 into the turns.
Hey, my goodness. But I mean, it's difficult, AJ. You're fighting the wheel, you're fighting the aero on these trucks, the cars. I mean, and people side drafting you, shorter radius in the turns, tighter spaces. I mean, it's just, you got to be on your game 100%. I mean, you cannot take a lap or a corner off.
Rivera to the point. Donaldson to the point. Wesley Donaldson is going to lead that lap. That 91 has been up front this whole race so far.
Now he's
And-
trying to work both sides of the street. He's trying to block both lines. Ooh, gonna get close off of 4.
Yeah, you really got to be careful with that because you can be thrown right into that center lane, and there is nobody there to help you at that point. Just because Dale Jr. did it doesn't mean you should.
Wow. Sorry. Josh Parker went top to bottom to middle and one corner. That was incredible.
Well, he's was back in the middle. He's gonna clear Strongy and move to that outer lane.
I want to see if he makes the same move here going into the corner. This is what he did last time. He went all the way to the top, but this, I mean, he's making it work on all the way on the top, but he
Look
did
at
that.
that run.
Yeah, that's impressive. What he did the lap before is he did that on Strongy, and then he just dove it right to the middle, and it was just like there was maybe like an inch or two between those two trucks.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible stuff.
He's about to do it again. Oh, never mind. It stalled out. It stalled out up there. He's gonna have to duck in behind Jeff Ryan, and he does in that gorgeous Cheetos Chevy Silverado. Cheetos.
Cheetos.
All I do is picture Homer Simpson with the But now we are 2x2 all the way back. Brian Macklin now going a lap down. Biggest mover now is that 81 of Josh Parker, up 23 spots, sitting in 6th. From 29th to 6th. That's amazing. Even on a track like this where theoretically you can go from last to first in 10, 15 laps. But he's able to make passes whenever he wants. Granted, that last one just stalled out. But he drops right back in 4th on the outside lane and still cruising with the best of them.
It seems like tonight, too, what I've noticed that outside line has gotten, whoever leads it, it gets the most energy compared to the bottom line.
I think a lot of it has to do is, oh, there goes Jeff Ryan. He got put to the outside, nobody to help him. Oh, 84, Cal and Tony in the wall. No Tyree catch on that one.
That's pretty good.
As a Patriots fan, I'm not salty about it. I don't know what you're talking about. Look at that. Bobby Wetzel leading. And here comes Josh Parker as well.
He's going to make it 3 wide, AJ.
Yeah. 3 wide. Wetzel in the middle and nobody there to help him.
He's in the sucker hole. He's going all the way to the back here.
I think somebody will get behind him. Oh, the 10 in the wall. Richard Beasley in the wall, and he is losing a lot of spots. All the way
he's in the
already
wall
back
again.
to 20th. Down to 25th, and he was 3rd. He was 3rd not even a half a lap ago.
That's going to shake your confidence. Doing that right there and in the wall, that shakes your confidence for a few laps.
Pass for the lead. Josh Parker, move him to P1.
Oh, Glenn Campbell's on the wall.
Oh, he got on the wall and immediately got off the wall, but that 44, that whole right side is scraped up. Left side still looks good. But what an amazing battle up front. 2x2x2 all the way to about 20th position. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you what lane I'd want to be in. Outside because you're closer to the walls just in case something breaks. or the inside lane, so you have an exit strategy if something happens.
Most of the times when I run, most of the time when I run restricted plates, I want to be on the bottom, so I have an escape route if something happens. Middle line, I feel like you're asking for it, and the top line, I got wrecked out on the last lap here in an official race one year where I should have won that race, and I got squeezed into the fence.
Oh boy, who was that?
That was Jeff Ryden, that 3 truck that made that move.
That was a really good move, but it also looked like the 69 was in the wall. Right behind him.
Strongy.
Jump on board.
Tommy Ryan's going to go 3 wide here. Putting Doy Woods in the middle. Doy's going to just back out of that. He's like, all right, you putting me in the middle? That's fine. I'm going to the back.
He's moving his way back up, Tommy Ryan. Restarted in 22nd, up to 13th.
Oh my goodness, what a move. Did you see that momentum he had right there?
Yeah. We're on board with him, and that was insane. And I think a lot of it has to do is on these straightaways, there's enough gap where he's able to get a tow from the truck in front of him that he's able to, once they get to the turn, to try to make some of these passes.
Well, he lost all his help behind him. Oh, and Jeff Ryan's right in the wall in front of him.
Sorry, dude. Gotta go.
Right now, we're really seeing this pack break up due to that last small scrape of the fence. The energy is shifting.
Yeah, big time. Now there's just 5 on the outside. And about 4 or 5 on the inside. 4 on the inside.
Coming up on a lap car coming up here, too. And Brian Macklin gets way out of the way. Good for Brian. Smart decision.
Donaldson's really got to be feeling good about himself. That 91 has been strong.
Oh, wow. Sorry, Kevin Brown.
Yeah,
I thought
saw
Kevin Brown was... I thought he was going straight to the inside.
But the thing is with that 91, he has a lot of good races, but he's just not able to close them out. Can tonight be the difference? Less than 60 laps to go. We are past halfway already.
I hope you just didn't jinx him.
I hope not. I very much like Wesley Donaldson. Very much. Good dude to talk to.
Wesley, if you watch this back, it's AJ's fault.
Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. We share this as a team up here.
I know. Strungy shut the door on Tommy Ryan. Ryan was trying to make that 3 wide top move, and Strungy just slid up and said, nope, you ain't doing that.
And even though all that happened just a couple laps ago to that outside, they are still a force to reckon with. Parker with a hell of a launch going into 1.
Well, it seems like the inside likes to fight back going down the straightaways.
But look at the back of the pack. Already single file, and they're not trying anything. They're just trying to stay single file for the most part back here. Look at that. You see the 12 Exalta truck right at the back of that pack, and right behind him, Holyfield, Stone, Arnold, Macklin, Fuller, Karlovich, all in a line just riding. I don't know if that's just, hey, they're going to wreck up front, gives us plenty of time. But when do you start charging up towards the front?
Well, it depends on who you are. I mean, like Dale Jr. used to do, he'd like to be at the front of the pack the entire day just because it'd be the safest place for him. But then there's other guys that'd be like Dale Jarrett or something. They'd be like, all right, I'm gonna ride out all back all race long and make my way, charge my way from the back of the field to the front of the field after everybody's wrecked out, and it's worked for them. So I mean, it's either way. It just goes on your preference too. But my thinking is too, AJ. These guys pitted on what, around 39 lap 40. These
Yes.
guys, these.
Josh Parker, lap 39. Everybody else until 10th place, lap 30, and then after that, lap 39.
Well, we're about now to the one-stop strategy here to get to the end for everybody on fuel. Because it's 55 to 60 laps, you said?
That's what the notes from last season detailed, 55 to 60.
So we're about in that window to make it the rest of the way.
Donaldson back to the point. It's not really a point. They're side by side, and there goes Parker once again. More of that outside lane is starting to deteriorate. EJ O'Rourke, the last truck on that outside. Well, here comes the 94 of Tilly. He's going to go to the outside. It just looks like that outside lane is starting to break up as Paul Jr. just hit pit road. You're in the window. If that 55 to 60 is correct, you are in the window to make it. When do you hit pit road? Because you are going to need company. You pit by yourself, you can just basically kiss your race goodbye.
Well, and also, too, if you have let's say you have a pit road speeding violation or a commitment line violation, or you spin coming on a pit road, and the yellow doesn't come out, that ends your race too.
But the thing is, we've seen it. You spin through the grass here. As long as you don't come back up towards the racetrack, it stays green.
These trucks are really moving all over the place right now.
But here's another thing. They're going to come and pit. Are they going to take tires? Mike, driver, what would you do? Do you take tires under a green flag stops here?
For the amount of fuel you have to put in these things, I'd at least put 2 tires on the thing. I wouldn't put 4 on it. I'd put 2 tires on it. That's what I would do.
2 rights?
Or if you want it...
Yeah,
2 rights. Or if you want to be ballsy, you can go fuel only.
Woo! Whoa, Donaldson just hiccuped there. Good car control, truck control.
My thing, AJ, too, is if the next time these guys are going to take 4 tires is going to be on yellow. I don't see them taking 4 tires under green.
Oh boy, Brian Macklin right in front of the field here. He's letting off pretty early. And I think he's going to cut to the inside when they get to him.
Oh, you bet. They are coming right up on him.
There goes the field.
Rough night for Brian. Good news is we go to Charlotte next week for the regular season finale, and I know Brian will be looking forward to that.
Involved in the incident with Mike Kelly that really shouldn't have happened. There was a half a car length between him and Tommy Ryan. And iRacing Netcode just said, nope.
Well, why we're under green here, AJ? We want to run through stuff going on in the podcast coming up this week?
Let's do it. The Wrestling with Nerd podcast, we're basically just having fun. We're starting our watch-alongs and review series of Raw and SmackDown. The Raw one comes out Tuesday. The SmackDown, we're actually doing a live reaction every Friday. The Off and Turn 1 podcast, Gary and Joe do a great job breaking down the week in auto racing. The Nerds Do Nerd Things podcast, we are making up the episode from last week, talking about the Great Mouse Detective and the Sherlock Holmes series with Robert Downey Jr. Falcon Grafix, save $5 when you use code AllStar15TV when you message Mick Olofsson on Facebook. You'll save $5 off your first vehicle wrap. All links are down in the description on YouTube and up if you're on Facebook, because that's where they like to put their descriptions. But thank you guys. Check it out. Check them out. I'm also the host of the Nerds Do Nerd Things podcast and the Wrestling with Nerds podcast. So come have fun with us if you're into it. But as we are side by side, we gotta take a quick commercial break and go side by side.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment, to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need, with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Big wreck, 86 laps in. Let's check what happened here. Thank you for indulging us while we get the bills paid.
And you saw it all on side by side.
What happened here? Tommy Ryan, Bobby Wetzel. Wetzel gets tight. Ryan's already in the wall.
Just the coming together.
Ooh, they're still wrecking. Is that Fury?
That looks like it.
That wasn't him spinning. That's Strongy.
Strongy. Let's take a look here. Those guys are wrecking in the wall.
Oh, he's gonna pop Montesi.
How about Calantoni? That Calantoni made a hell of a save up there.
Yeah, I still think he rode the wall a little bit there.
He did. That's a good save, though, by Strongy. I mean, yes, halfway sideways in the grass and then grab a gear and go.
Does he... Oh, Calantoni does get popped by two drivers there.
Yeah, you're right. And Montesi made a good save, too. I mean, he made contact with Strongy, but both those guys down there, they like hit the grass, grabbed the gear, and kept on going.
That's a little bit of a jump there, too. Everybody on pit road. This could be the money stop. Well, Mike, we are under our third caution of the evening. Why don't you give everybody a little more of a background to the Off and Turn 1 podcast?
Well, the Off and Turn 1 podcast is your one-stop shop for all things auto racing. I know the guys will be talking about this week, last week's triple header at Darlington Raceway that saw a beatdown by Justin Allgaier in the Xfinity Series, the Truck Series by Ross Chastain, the Watermelon Man slamming that on the front straightaway after a rain delay for a win. And they'll probably be talking about that incredible Stage 3 finish at Darlington. Another incredible finish for NASCAR. And then you'll probably have those guys talking about the Indy GP. They had IMSA at Laguna Seca last weekend, so those guys will be touching on that too. And there'll probably be a lot of talk about what's coming up this weekend, and especially the following weekend too. You got Indy 500 qualifying weekend. It's a big weekend heading up to Memorial Day, the big race there coming up there. And then you'll have NASCAR, the All-Star weekend at North Wilkesboro, our first trip back on the newly repaved North Wilkesboro Speedway.
I can't to see what that looks like.
Right.
It's going to be a fun race.
And Truck Series on Saturday, Cup Series on Sunday, and then Formula One is back in action this week in Imola. That's also going on this weekend. So another big weekend of sports for an auto racing, heading up to the incredible triple header, all-day racing on Memorial Day weekend, which has 3 big races of Monaco, Indy, and Charlotte.
Another thing I wanted to ask you, with us going to North Wilkesboro, I kind of know Carson Hocevar, there's like a tweet going around, whether it's his real one or not, where he kind of let it slip, or if it is him, that Rockingham could be on the schedule within the next couple of years. How excited do you think people are going to be if we can get Rockingham back?
It would be pretty incredible. But, that'd be nice to have Rockingham back. And I know even Denny Hamlin mentioned on his podcast a couple weeks ago after the Kansas race that he'd like to see Chicagoland return. And personally, I'm still on that bandwagon for that.
Well, here we go. Pace car is off, and we are green once again. Putting lap 89 on the board, just shy of 30 laps. Here we go again, a little bit more spread apart this time around, but we are going to bunch up fast. What do you know?
First time.
Look at the 93 on that outside, and what was that, Mike?
I was going to say, first time tonight, Trey Eidson's out front.
I mean, he's been towards the front all night, but yes, this is the first time he is leading, and it looks like he's able to take all the bumps that Donaldson's given him, and then some. Woo! There they go. I love to hear that sound. And while we're back green, why don't we hit you guys with a crank it up? Well, We're back, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that quick crank it up brought to you by the Off and Turn 1 podcast right here on YouTube. 25 laps to go, and we are gridding up again, side by side by side, all the way back through the field.
Starting to see some newcomers up here. Chad Coleman's up here. I got Justin Fuller's making his way up here. Sean Macklin, Karlovich, Scott Simley. We got some players that have been hanging out in the back all race, moving their way to the front here as we're getting close to money time.
Yeah, I think what really helped them out was that caution to re-rack everything and basically bring the whole field together so they didn't have to fight through very long stretches of drivers. Now we are looking at everybody under a blanket, and as a certain wrestler from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, the cream always rises to the top. Ooh, yeah.
Slap into a Slim Jim.
Oh, don't tempt me. I have a package of them upstairs.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a good source of protein.
Yeah.
But another driver to keep an eye out on, who made it all the way up to second earlier, I think flirted with the lead, the 81 of Josh Parker. He's showing a couple of the drivers behind him, hey, I'll go to the extreme outside. I'll go. You gonna go with me? Watch, he's gonna show it again.
Yeah, he's gonna do it again.
Yeah,
Now, how
there it
about
is.
Alan? Yeah, how about Alan Wild? He's sitting there in P11 right now. Solid night for Alan.
He's stayed right around that 10th position the entire race so far. That is consistency at its finest, and he's kept the truck clean. Knock on wood that it stays that way, but he's kept the truck clean, and that's exactly what you want, to be here at the end with as little amount to no damage as possible. He's run a very, very smart race. Brian Workman on pit road.
It's not been the night Brian's been wanting in that 74 truck. Oh, EJ works on the wall.
EJ's dropping.
I don't know what happened. I just saw a couple of trucks glitch in and glitch out on my screen. I don't know if it's me on my end or we had another server problem.
I don't think it was just you. Watch it here. He just misjudges going into turn one, and he's gonna lose a lot of spots because of it.
You choose another camera on that real quick.
Oops.
I just wanted to see when he bounced off the wall initially if I just wanted to see. I could go back and look. Okay. Let me just see this again. I just want to see if he makes contact with somebody or that thing just rocketed to the right.
It just went right.
Oh, yeah, it did go to the right. Okay.
And he's dropping positions big time.
Got it.
Don't know if it was a hard enough hit to break anything. But he's fallen all the way back from about 10th place to 26th. All the way at the back of the line.
He's tailing Charlie, as they used to say. And we are ramping up front here. The energy in this pack is getting more and more intense as we're sitting here now with 17 laps to go.
Yeah, the pay window is starting to open. They're counting the money. They're about to hand out some points leading into the season finale race at Charlotte Motor Speedway next week. That's it. Then we chop it down to 16 drivers. But Charlotte next week, 120 laps, 180 miles. And that's going to be it for a lot of these drivers. That's their last chance, their last hurrah to make the playoffs. We're taking the top 16 guys before we get to Charlotte next week and maybe throw a lot of patriotic schemes. We got to figure out who's going to win the night. And Eitzen has been a this last run has been a rocket ship on that bottom. Has held
yeah.
that position, but here we go. The 94 to the outside, and Josh Parker as well.
Oh, Montesi's in the wall. And we got trouble behind them. Casper's around.
Yellow out.
Yellow is out.
Well, that takes any sort of tire strategy out of it, because I would assume people are coming down pit road. Yeah, well, they could make it. They could stay out. I don't know what I would want here. I think I'd come down pit road and... Ooh, he was really slow. Stone gets involved. Arnold gets involved. Obviously, the 41 of O'Rourke spins him.
Mike
Oh.
Montesi was loose in front of those guys. A couple trucks up there.
What happened to Casper that he was so slow?
Oh.
A big checkup. Big checkup. The tide ride suavely loose. There it goes. Big checkup.
And then you'll see Mike Montesi up there, right there. He's
Ooh.
going to hit the wall.
That's going to hurt in the morning. Well, let's see. Kevin Brown's coming to pit. No, he's not. All right, that was a big fake out. That got me. And we're a good couple 100 feet away to watch it. Dalton coming down. Strongy, Montesi, Fuller, Simley, O'Rourke, Holyfield, Stone, Arnold, Wetzel, Casper, Campbell, Livingston. All hitting pit road. And they're taking tires. You know, 20 laps. Mike, is that a big difference in tire wear? 20 laps?
Not really, since this is still a freshly repaved Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's not too big of a difference. This is the old Atlanta. Oh, that'd be a major difference.
I mean, once you'd go green, I feel like you'd want to get fresh tires at that point with the old Atlanta. The only thing I could think of with the 20 lap difference, you might be able to put that truck in places where they can't. Like where they start to push out of the turns, you'd be able to keep it down low. But we're gonna find out, everybody.
I was gonna say it all depends too on how your truck's handling it too. Those guys could have just went in there and got tires just because they didn't like the set of tires that they had in the truck. But we're about to see all our patience, all our give and take, and all that stuff. That's going out the window here. Just because we're going to get this restart with about 12 laps to go. And we're going to be in for a barn burner, AJ.
Yeah, this is going to be wild. Everybody watching at home, thank you for tuning in. Hit that like, follow, subscribe, share it out. Gets more eyes on the product. Lights are off on the iRacing official Ford Mustang pace car. I don't know what to expect. Can Eitzen hold the field off? Can Kevin Brown win back-to-back Atlanta Speedway races?
And let's just mention here, too, while you mentioned Kevin Brown, he came into this race 18th in points. And Randy Yoakum is not here tonight. I have not seen Randy Yoakum here. And Beasley's been kind of having a rough night, too. So this could be Kevin Brown's time to really make a dent going into next week.
Yeah, we got the points up on the screen there for everybody to see what's going on. Beasley currently sitting in 11th, so he's not having a horrible night.
He's not having a horrible night, but he's been on the wall a couple times. And well, there's Sean Macklin. Sean Macklin's right behind Beasley too on that bottom row. So I mean, Sean's making his way toward the front, trying to make an impact for the points too.
Pace car is off. In the control of Eitzen in the restart box. Is this our last caution? Green flag back in the air. just seems like that those first couple cars on the inside get the really good launch, and then the cavalry shows up. But that outside, they struggle for the first lap or two. But when they get even, it gets scary how good that top line is.
It doesn't take long for them to get the energy from having a bad restart, and then everybody really surges up there.
See, is it a bad restart, or are they just getting nose to tail sooner?
I think it's, the inside line's probably getting a nose to tail sooner, because the outside's always been notorious for wheel spins on these restarts here. As Justin Fuller went 3 wide middle.
That's somebody we haven't talked a lot about, but he's trying to also get into lock himself in the playoffs and do all that stuff. He did miss a good 3 or 4 races to start the season, put himself behind the 8 ball early, and has fought all the way back.
10 laps to go.
Now, currently, Fuller is sitting 12th. He's not completely locked in, but with a good finish tonight, he can lock himself in. There they go with that inside lane. Starting to pull away from the outside.
Chad Coleman is giving Kevin Brown a big push going into 1 here to see if they can try to get equal up there. They've got equal to second. Oh, they're going to get equal here. They're going to try to get equal here with first.
Josh Parker.
Oh, here we go.
There they go. Oh,
no
Kevin
caution.
Stone.
No caution yet. They're still racing. There's cars spinning everywhere. We're still in the green.
How?
Oh, there it is. There's the caution.
How? See it from Justin Fuller's point of view. Got the 77 of Fieri, 18 of Macklin, 81 of Parker.
Ooh, Callum Tony's sideways, and he saved that.
We're still. There is the yellow. That took so long for that yellow to come out.
Well, I think probably iRacing and the officials in the tower thought all those cars were going to stay beneath the white line.
Well, I think they still did. That's amazing. I am very shocked that that it wasn't called faster. You had cars spinning across the racetrack. Well, 7 laps to go from Atlanta Motor Speedway. You're watching All-Star 15 TV's broadcast of the Sim500 TranService Truck Series. Whoa, we will be right back.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment, to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
We're back, everybody, from Atlanta Motor Speedway. It is almost time to crown a champion for round 17 and head off to the home of NASCAR Charlotte Motor Speedway for next week's season finale. But up front, Trey Eitzen on the outside, Wesley Donaldson on that inside. I don't know who's going to win. I'm not a betting man. I ain't going to even try to bet.
Pace car is off. Here we come into the Geico restart zone. Green flag. Trey Eitzen hits the hammer, and he is long gone.
He is very much long gone, and he's going to cut right in front of the 91 of Donaldson. That looked like that was well orchestrated.
Yeah, Nelson Rivera's kind of stuck now on the top. No help.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
Now, does Kevin Brown be the first one to shoot to that outside? Nope,
no.
Donaldson's going to be the one.
I'll work with you to get to that inside, but don't expect me to stay there.
Now we are coming down to 3 laps to go. Tyler Dalton 3 wide to the top by himself.
Oh, not anymore. Tilly to that outside.
Oh.
Nelson was pinching him up there.
Oh, Tyler's on the wall. 19 in the fence.
Out of turn number 4, Trey Eitzen, dual popsicle sticks. Up
Here
in
comes
the
Kevin
air.
Brown. 2 laps to go. Kevin Brown is trying to get the lead.
Kevin Brown didn't try to get the lead. He got the lead.
Oh, we're wrecking behind him.
Well, you know what that means.
Overtime. Oh, we're still wrecking.
That's a lot of trucks. And this wreck goes on for half the pack stretch as well.
I think it started up there where they were going 3 wide.
I think that's the 94 of Alex Tilley that kind of starts this. He's in a pinch Doy Woods.
It's like a pinball machine.
And just watch the carnage here. Strongy, Fieri, O'Rourke, Suavely, the 15. Oh, man. He was having such a good night. Alan Wild involved in that one. Oh, what was that? Donaldson just frustrated running back through.
No, EJ said that his truck's very torn up, and I don't think he had enough steering on the thing. That's what happened. Oh, I mean, Jeff Ryan just piled in there. That was like some Arca brake type stuff.
I don't know, he was all involved in this. Let's jump on board with Jeff Ryan. Oh. Oh, he can't see anything. He can't see anything. Yeah, but you would still think he'd be slowing up before that, but so I'd say what, 10, 15 cars involved?
Yeah, probably about 10 or 12. This next restart is going to be very interesting here. They gave Kevin Brown, he was the leader at the moment of caution, so Kevin Brown will be the one restarting this race.
Just remember, only 2 green-white checkered attempts. This will be our first one. Thank you to everybody for tuning in on this Wednesday evening. Hopefully the week has been going well for you. Glad to have you here. Share out the race. People, you don't want to miss what's about to happen. If it's anything like last year's Atlanta Motor Speedway Super Speedway event, it's about to get very wild. Two by two, they're gridding up. The lights are off on the iRacing official Ford Mustang pace car. Just listen to the roar. Thing is, not all of these trucks are untouched. You saw Parker; the whole left side is chewed up. Calantoni in the Talking Giants '84, his right side is a little scraped off. I think the only 2 trucks that we could see right in that shot, maybe 3 trucks, Brown, Eitzen, and Donaldson, knock on wood, have seen probably the least amount of scares. You know, Coleman, our early caution, just scoots right by, but had to be nerve-wracking for him. It's about to get nerve-wracking for the rest of the field. We're coming to a green-white checkered attempt number 1. Race leader Kevin Brown on that outside. And away he goes.
Oh, he got a really good start and a really good push from Chad Coleman. And they're gonna stay up there. I thought they were gonna drop down, but they're gonna stay up on that. Oh, now Trey lost his help from Donaldson. Donaldson jumped up high.
Can Kevin Brown go back to back and belly to belly?
As we come out of turn 4, we're going to hit the white flag, sponsored by
Wrestling with Nerds podcast. There they go. White flag in the air.
This race is official. Next flag ends it.
So official, it's Facebook official.
Oh, here comes Trey. He's coming back on that bottom.
Bottom lane just need a little while to get put together. They're almost even.
Going into 3 and 4 for the final time.
Karlovich in the wall.
Trey Eitzen battling back here. They're going to wreck off a 4 behind him. It's going to be a photo finish at the line, AJ.
And Kevin Brown is going to go back to back.
What a finish by Kevin Brown as they are wrecking everywhere behind him.
Just get the
bam, right there.
Hey, NASCAR, that's how you do it. Kevin Brown, Trey Eitzen, Nelson Rivera. What a race. And hey, it's your pick. Congratulations on one of us actually getting a correct pick.
Yes, that is me.
Well, since it's your pick, I'll let you...
Yeah, I'll take the interview, and you can take second and third.
Yes, sir.
What a finish, though, AJ. 2 years in a row. Incredible finish this year at Atlanta Super Speedway. And we continue the NASCAR hot streak of finishes, right?
Absolutely. Looking for everybody to start moving them. Kevin Brown burning it down across that start-finish line. A lot to be proud of there. Okay. Rivera. Oh, there's the Yankee logo. That's what I was looking for. Kevin Brown here too, so they can all get a. Let's start with our P3 finisher. Nelson Rivera, AJ, and Mike in the broadcast booth. Holy cow. You basically just cut to the inside, come home third here tonight. What a race. How was it out there, pal?
I don't know. Was that legal? I kind of dipped my lefts below the line, so I don't know.
Well, until they tell us it wasn't legal, it lists you as third place.
Yeah, that's the only room I had to take a shot at it. I thought I had it there for a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it was basically try to keep the track position, which somehow I successfully did all night, which is surprising. Really kept it on the bottom. Didn't move up till the second to last restart, and yeah, I mean, it's just hammer down and hope that you don't hit anything hard.
Yeah, because they were completely wrecking all behind you. And honestly, with all that happening, you with the technically you went underneath, but at least for just a tiny bit. But that 7 was definitely pushing you down there because we're watching it on screen. But dude, coming home third with a difficult racetrack, especially with how much you guys were over the top of each other, 120 track temp. You know, a podium finish at this kind of track. What does it do for you?
I mean, it's great. It gives me momentum, obviously, and going forward. Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect anything out of tonight. I was just gonna run and see what happens. If I get caught up in a wreck, so be it. So I didn't expect much, and for a little bit there, when we had the middle of the race, we had that decent size long run. It surprised me because the truck started getting tight, and I didn't experience that in practice. If anything, I was going to expect it to get loose, but it started getting tight in traffic, so that was a surprise. And but that was about it. Everything else what I expected from what we were doing tonight. I expected it. There was really no other surprises. Like I said, there's no high expectations for races like this, but just get lucky and see what I can do. And it turned out that I got a top 3.
All right, brother. Well, before we let you go and celebrate a podium, uh, want to shout out your sponsors. I know you got LaRue Racing on the side of that beautiful Ford F-150 every week.
Hell yeah! Out of Quebec, Canada, LaRue Industrial Snowblowers. Yeah, that's our sponsor, our team, LaRue Esports. Got a few other guys that run other nights. Rob Friery, who's my teammate, was running in this race. Had some bad luck there at the end, so I hated for him. But yeah, and of course, every week you guys putting on a fabulous broadcast.
Thanks, brother. Thank you for the kind words and congratulations on the podium finish. We will see you at Charlotte Motor Speedway next week for the season finale.
Yes, sir. Have a good night, fellas.
Have a good one, pal. Nelson Rivera coming home third this evening. It's time to talk to the P2 finisher. Everything all squared away. Let's bring him in here. The driver of the number 7 Toyota Tundra. It's Trey Eitzen coming home in second with a hell of a battle the last green white checkered and literally through the whole back end of that race. Dude, talk about the truck, talk about the finish. It looked like you and Kevin Brown were very, very evenly matched on that last green white checkered.
Uh, yeah, we were. I didn't want to lose control, so when he got by me and then the caution came out and he took the lead, I kind of thought, it was over. As far as winning goes, um, And I honestly felt like I was in a good spot when the 91 Wesley was behind me, because I felt like Chad was struggling handling wise. Like I don't know if he was tight entry, loose entry, I don't know, but it just looked like he was struggling to hold it full throttle without wrecking or having a moment. So I honestly thought Wesley could have stayed with me, and we probably would have just stayed like that until he could have pulled out off a turn 4 to the checkered or something and raced it out. But I thought the best bet was him just staying with me. So when they all started kind of bailing behind me and trying to do what's best for them, which that's fine, understandable. I was kind of a sitting duck on the bottom and just kind of waited to see who the heck's going to help me. But to answer your question, the last little bit there, I was honestly, I think there was like 4 trucks ahead of me on the outside line, and they all stayed up top. So once Nelson got behind me, we just kind of rolled back by them all. I don't know why Tommy or well, I know Chad was committed to Kevin, but I don't know why like Tommy didn't jump down, try to let me push him to the lead or something. They all just kind of stayed there. So when I started rolling the bottom back by him, I was like, well, okay, this is like free space, thanks. Looking at the replay, the only regret I have was probably I tried to run Kevin up a little bit, and then I just couldn't pull it like back down in front of Nelson. I don't know if I got tired or what, but Nelson had a hell of a run, so I wish I could have got back to the bottom and got a push, because I honestly feel like I probably would have won the thing. Yeah, I just kind of got stuck to Kevin off 4. I think Chad kind of got in my right rear, and that made Kevin and I door each other even harder. But I haven't raced in like 2 or 3 months, like not a single lap, and so to come back, have a good run like this, that's I'll gladly take it.
Dude, I would take that talent to just get in a car or truck at any time and be like, all right, well, that's a podium. But dude, all race you were up front. That JBL.com Toyota Tundra was always in camera shot throughout the whole race. Do you just like these kind of racetracks? Will we see you next week at Charlotte? What's the plan for the 7?
There really is no plan. I know a few months ago I joined late and I won the first race back, and I was like, we might try to make a run for the playoff, but life happens, right? So there's just days where being a parent and working a full-time job, I just get home from work and I'm just like, I just don't feel like being on here. It's not how I want to spend my evening. So it's really kind of a Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. I'll make up my mind. So I don't really know. I don't really like these Talladega, Daytona style races because you're kind of your fate's in someone else's hands, So I prefer the Charlottes, kind of you can do your own thing, run your own race, take care of your tires. Kind of the driver kind of plays more of a factor. Charlotte is my home track, so I may run that thing next week, but no plan. Just kind of like I said, 8 o'clock hits, and I'm deciding yes or no.
All right, brother. Well, before we let you go, I know you don't get to do it a lot, but are there any sponsors you want to plug? Any teammates, teams you want to plug before we let you go enjoy a second place finish?
Just thanks to you guys, thanks to Joey and Fuller and all the people that run the league. No sponsors other than what sponsors the league. I normally thank my teammates, but I really didn't get to see them or work with them tonight. They were all they were trying to help. One of Sean Macklin, he's kind of in a point situation. They were trying to stay committed to him, and then the big Macklin died at some point. I think EJ Arca break 12, 15 times, and Fuller we were just never around each other. So, yeah, I normally can thank them for working with me, but I saw Brian at the start, and that was the last of them I saw.
All right, dude. Well, once again, congratulations on the podium finish. If we see you next week, maybe we'll get to talking to you again. It's always fun to watch that number 7 get around a racetrack.
Well, I appreciate it. Hope to be here, but like I said, can't commit to nothing yet.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
You're good. Life happens, and keep safe, keep the family safe, and best of wishes.
Appreciate it.
All right, that is our P2 finisher. The driver that number 7, JBL.com Toyota Tundra. It is time, Mike, for us to bring in our race winner. I can't pull him. Mike, can you try pulling him?
Yeah, let me try pulling him. There we go. There is Kevin Brown, our winner. Kevin, it's Mike and AJ in the booth. You got us.
Yes, sir.
Well, man, talk about that finish. That was an incredible finish. Side by side there, Trey Eitzen banging doors there at the finish. And how about just give us your thoughts too of winning back-to-back years here at Atlanta Super Speedway?
Oh, really? Back? I forgot it was back to back, but yeah, it's pretty nice. We definitely came in, needed a good finish because we're back low on the points. It hasn't been really a good season at all on the trucks. But yeah, it's always fun to race Trey, and I know he's gonna give it all he got. And banging to the door to the line was pretty fun.
It seemed like Chad Coleman was very committed to you too on that last green-white checker too there on that 38 truck. Seemed like he was really committed to pushing you there.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's one of my good teammates, and he told me if it wasn't about the points, he definitely would have made a move on me. And I was like, you should have made a move anyway. That'd have been okay with a top 3. But yeah, I'd appreciate him and Tommy and all them on Team Name helping me out.
Well, give me your thoughts too as we're going to the regular season finale next week at Charlotte. Give me your thoughts there, and then obviously with tonight with the win and having a good points night, just give me your thoughts and seeing if you can close the deal out and get a playoff spot.
Yeah, it's all about points next week. Hopefully maybe we can lead some. Just got to point our way in. I don't know where I'm at now with the win, but hopefully I'm above. Like I said, it hasn't been the greatest truck season in the world. So hopefully we can rebound and get another good finish next week. If not, then it is what it is. We'll keep racing to the end of the season either way. But yeah, it's been fun.
Anybody you'd like to thank sponsor-wise before we let you get out of here to celebrate this win? Also, I just did want to mention to you, I did pick you in our broadcast picks tonight to win, so just throwing that out there.
I appreciate that. Yeah, of course, Chris Caboo painting this paint scheme. Racer Pride have come on being the sponsor of this. WBD Diecast, they're not on the car. That's Wesley stuff. He usually sponsors me in the other series, but if he ever wants to come on the car, he's more than welcome to. Check him out. Check him out on Instagram. And yeah, Joey for putting on the race, and you guys for doing the broadcast. Can't wait to watch it.
Well, Kevin, congratulations again on the win here at Michigan, and we will catch you next week at Charlotte. All right, man?
Thanks, guys.
Kevin Brown, race winning truck back to back and a belly to belly. What a race, Mike. I'm loving this racetrack every time we come to it now.
Yeah, this is must-see TV and must-view viewing for our fans at home, AJ. I mean, that was incredible. Once again, Sim500 delivering again. And then next week, regular season finale, points are on the line, playoff positions are on the line. Oh, let's get to Charlotte, AJ. I'm excited.
Yeah, can we just... I know it's like after 10 o'clock and realistically we can't do it, but can we just do it now? Like, I don't want to wait a week. I really don't. I want to know who's making the playoffs, like now.
I think we all do. We all want to know who's making those playoffs.
All right, Mike. Great job tonight. Thank you for joining me all season long.
Yes, AJ. Glad to be back and be here with you guys and everybody for the fans at home. And let's go to Charlotte and have some more fun.
Go to the home of NASCAR. Everybody take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow. We will see you in Charlotte next week. Same bat time, same bat place. Take care, everybody.